good afternoon, people. Welcome to Class with Coco. I go by the name of Classy Coco, and you already know how it goes. So today, in this video, I'm going to be briefly talking about the relation between sex and spirituality and what you need to know about it. I'm sure I've mentioned in previous videos, somewhere along the lines, how important it is to protect your sacred space, which includes who you share intimacy with. Now, sex is the highest form of energy exchange. When you engage in sexual activities with another individual, you have to recognize and realize that that person has their own energy, for one, and runs on their specific frequency. And not only that, they have their own way of life in terms of who they are and what their soul represents. People need to understand that during the exchange that takes place when you are intimate with another person, character traits and soul ties are both transferred and created. And so if you have sex with a person who is far from your level and they may privately engage in other activities and practices that you are unaware of, you have left yourself vulnerable to being connected to those things as well. There was something that happened to me and I was lost in a vision and still had to live in this normal world while I was simultaneously having a vision. And during that time, I believe that I connected with a person whose soul was possibly tarnished. And so there was a specific day that, we were intimate, and I felt as though it wasn't him I was being intimate with. I'm not going to go into the full vision, but obviously you guys have heard me or probably other people talk about downloads, which is the downloading of information that comes to you from, I would say, my creator. Some people may say from angels and so on and so forth. But this specific term, sex magic or sex and magic, kept coming up for me. And I had an understanding that not only were spirits and energies able to attack your energy and your mindset, they were also able to indulge in sexual activities with you through other people and harness your energy through that action. I know that it sounds crazy when I say it out loud, but for me, I don't believe in having sex for fun. It is not an activity that's supposed to be for fun. It's an activity that is supposed to be sacred and connect one partner to another. But I've noticed with myself that there are certain traits that I feel I have adopted from certain sexual partners. And I feel like regardless, this happens to everyone, whether you are conscious of it or not. You'll find yourself, standing like them, or obviously people, you could talk like some of that can happen without sexual intercourse, because when you're around someone often and you see how they talk and stuff, it's easy to pick up on lingo and stuff from other people. But other traits, other characteristics I've noticed that I have picked up from other people. And so people need to be very, very careful about sharing intimate relations with strangers, or just having one night stands and all of the rest, because you will be filled with demonic entities and spirits that will come through that energy exchange that you've had with that person, because it was not done sacredly. I also had a vision of some sort that showed me that even those in Holy Communion through marriage, if your partner is cheating, or if your partner has a tendency to be interested in things, sexual exploration, and you may not be aware of this, they may be into porn, or they may be into things that are just very taboo and disgusting, which I don't want to mention on my channel, but you could imagine some people have certain fetishes. Your husband or partner may not tell you about those fetishes. However, they may be indulging in them behind your back, and thus they leave you to be open to the spirits and energies behind these fetishes. And you have to be very careful of that. For me, it's in this day and age, I know women who are very promiscuous, and I know men who are very promiscuous. Obviously, a lot of women would say that men are the more promiscuous people. However, that's untrue. There are women who just move from partner to partner. When it doesn't work out with one, she's with another, and they use their body and sex as a way to cement love, which is not how it goes. Nobody's going to love you just from sex. They may enjoy you, and they may be lustful towards you, and sometimes you may even benefit from these sexual relationships. But what are you benefiting from if you are losing aspects of your soul in the process? That's all I wanted to say today. I want you all, whoever listens to this video, to remember that sex is a sacred act. Sex is an act that can bring about life. Sex is an act for two people to connect at a certain frequency and to be able to become a unit and love on each other. Sex is not there for you to be using it as a recreational drug or as fun. That is ridiculous. In this day and age, so much things are based on sex. You've got people selling soft porn online in the disguise of liberation and wanting to show their beauty, but they've got arse and tits out, summoning men or females to lust over them, and ultimately they are doing soft porn. And so, on that note, I'm gone. I wish you all a great day ahead, and take care of yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Do you understand? And yeah, bye.